I've been in business for 4 years. My first year, I got the opportunity to work with an amazing photographer. Her name's Anne-Marie Swift. So I would go with her to her weddings, and she taught me so much, and that's really how I started my business. Then over the course of those 4 years, I went off on my own and started to do projects alone, basically focusing mostly on families and weddings. And now I'm officially a full-time photographer. I do definitely think there's a certain eye for the job. You know, clients choose photographers based on certain aesthetics, and for me, my color palette is very neutral. I utilize natural light. It's definitely been a challenge going from a side hustle to now a full-time business. For me, my personal life and my business are so intertwined that it's definitely difficult to have boundaries. But for me, I've found that having block scheduling really helps me stick to those boundaries. And personally, sometimes I feel bad when I don't get back to people right away, but I have to stick to my schedule just as anyone would at a regular corporate job, just so I can get other things done and then provide the best experience for my clients. I feel like one of the biggest things I did was just being really grateful for every client that hired me. And over time, I feel like the relationships I've built with people have turned into referrals. So that's been the biggest thing that's helped me build my business. One of the biggest key factors that I attribute to my success is just being kind. I feel like half of this business, if you're just nice to people and they trust you, then it's gonna get you really far. Learning the techniques of photography takes a lot of work, but if your clients don't trust you, then it's harder to build those relationships. So I would say definitely just being kind and considerate to your clients. It's always hard to get in front of the camera, so you have to make people feel comfortable. As far as staying motivated, I would say I do rely on Instagram quite a bit, just viewing other photographers' work for inspiration, meeting up with other photographers just to bounce ideas off of one another. I'm part of a group called the Rising Tide Society, so you can kind of bounce questions off of people in that group, and people are really eager to help. When I'm looking for a second photographer, I normally start on Instagram. I find a lot of inspiration from other photographers, so I have a few that I really love and love working with, so I'll message them if I haven't already worked with them and just kind of say, hey, are you available on these dates? And that's how the conversation will start, and then we'll meet up in person and make sure that we're a good fit for one another and that they're okay representing my brand for the day. The biggest investment I made in technology for my business is a program called HoneyBook. I use it for everything. Contracts, expensing purposes, bookkeeping, everything's just streamlined in this program, and all of my clients love it. It's very intuitive. I would say the best way to market a photography business is to just talk to as many people as possible. You never know what's gonna come out of a certain conversation. Also, social media. For me in particular, Instagram is just one of the biggest places. It's a platform where people can go to see your work. I try to post about my personal life as well on Instagram because I feel like it helps me connect with clients that are a good fit for me. So I would say definitely just chatting with other people, other photographers, and then utilizing social media, specifically Instagram. I would say one of my biggest pieces of advice is to just say yes to anything. I remember photographing all different types of scenarios, from baptisms to birthday parties, and just having those experiences. You're interacting with all different types of people, and it's really, really beneficial in my opinion.